This program contains true stories of rescues. All of the 911 calls you will hear are real. Whenever possible, the actual people involved have helped us reconstruct the events as they happened. We begin on March 28th, 1991, in Lawrence, Kansas, as nighttime settled in on the campus of the University of Kansas.
I talked to one of the desk clerks, and there's no...
Judy Lowe had been a police dispatcher for more than 5 years.
We get bomb threats all the time, but nothing ever happens. I mean, they never go off. The thing that was different about this, though, was there was no threat ahead of time.
More than 300 students lived in the JRP dormitory near the center of campus. By midnight, only a few of them were still awake, including security monitor Brad Stulzatz.
I had a test the next day, so I was last-minute cramming, trying to get it all in. The lobby had quieted down. Most of the guys were going to bed. A regular, normal, run-of-the-mill night at JRP.
University police officer Herb Martin was one of several cops on stakeout that night, working on a series of campus auto burglaries that had gone unsolved.
While I was sitting there, I saw one red car come into the parking lot with two individuals in it, and they were sitting in the car and had the dome light on, so I could see both of the guys, but only one of them got out of the car. He walked up the hill toward the area where we keep our police cars and security jeeps. As he was walking up the hill, I noticed there was something held on the side of his leg, but I couldn't tell what it was.
934 KU, I've got somebody messing with one of the security jeeps on the drive.
Is that going to be lot 1?
It was pretty much behind our building, right where we were.
Hey, buddy. He's heading down to 59 foot.
He took off like he was lit with firecrackers.
There's one vehicle leaving lot 50 at this time, small red vehicle, Chevette, Kansas plates. I believe it's David, X-ray, possibly George. No further.
Which direction did you last see the vehicle going from which location?
Okay, that vehicle went north on Mississippi from 11th.
10204.
I went on back up to check the Jeep to see what this guy might have been doing.
What have you got up there? It looks like they stuck a pipe bomb beneath the Jeep, security Jeep, on the ramp behind JRP. 10-4, secure the area.
When we continue,
We had a bomb, probably with a timer, and we didn't know how much time had been put on it.
Clear the area.
when a university police officer found a pipe bomb planted underneath a Jeep parked just outside a dormitory where hundreds of students were sleeping, he radioed for help. But no one knew whether any attempt to dismantle it might instead set it off.
We had a bomb, probably with a timer, and we didn't know how much time had been put on it.
What's your location?
And of course, that's a pretty sticky wicket, trying to figure out whether we should evacuate people from the wing of the dormitory. Would we have time?
There's a lot of windows facing that direction, and I could envision shrapnel from that device and from that Jeep flying through those windows.
Sergeant Skylar Bailey was at a surveillance post with his partner, Detective Mike Reiner, who had some experience in identifying and dealing with bombs. Detective Reiner was rushed to the scene.
Mike, it's up under the front, over the axle. All right, just stay back.
We have a red Chevette. It was last seen northbound.
Officer Bob Williams was on routine patrol less than 3 blocks away when he heard that the suspect's vehicle had been headed in his direction.
Are David X-Ray George.
204 key.
204.
Would you check with Herb and see if the vehicle, was it dirty? Didn't read the tag, it had dirt all over it.
Actually, I just thought that there's no way it can be him. I mean, this is stupid if it's him to pull over there.
Good one look like? About 6 foot, 6'2", slim, maybe 160. Did somebody have a sweater by any chance? A charcoal gray, kind of checkered sweater. Okay, okay, I've got the vehicle.
You're 1020.
I just asked him, I said, would you mind coming back up on campus with me to the police station? Sure, no problem.
Detective Mike Reiner returned to the station to pick up some protective gear.
Gentlemen, I don't believe he's involved. The guy that Herb was chasing, I'm sure, still in the area.
He looked very determined. He just had this look on his face like it was something he had to do.
There's 30 seconds left on the timer. We'll know in just a little bit. Clear the area. It was real.
Let me look out the window here. Imagine the vehicle's in great shape. Oh my gosh.
I walked back down to see what kind of damage it had caused. And I saw a crater about 3 feet in diameter and about somewhere between 6 and 10 inches deep. Just all of a sudden hit me that this was real. If I had taken time to do anything else upstairs when I was getting my equipment, it could have gone off in my hand. I could have been killed. And my knees just kind of turned to rubber, and I just kind of sat down and flopped over on my back and shook for a few seconds.
The building shook when the bomb went off, and I was scared. I had no idea what was going on.
Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the flash, and then I heard it go. And I know I must have jumped 2 feet. I looked at the kid, and he was calm and cool throughout. He just looks at me and says, "Pardon me, sir, but just what was that?" I said something along the lines of, "I think you know what it is, and we need to talk about it."
The people that were responsible later said that they built the bomb just to see if they could do it. They said they didn't mean to hurt anybody, and that was not their intention, but they wanted it to be a big deal, and it was. They've both been convicted, and I think they both got 27 or 28 months in the penitentiary.
Mike Reiner was awarded the University of Kansas Police Department's Medal of Valor.
A lot of people told me that what I did was stupid, that I was crazy. I really couldn't see that there was any other choice.
What he did goes against most training, but I know why he did it. Here's an explosive device placed under a vehicle that has a gas tank parked not that far from a residence hall where there are a couple of hundred kids in there sleeping. Mike's a hero.
This is the first time I think it was really hammered home to me that you could be here today and gone tomorrow. You could be killed. I got my first gray hair 2 weeks after this and promptly plucked it out.
Next.
I have not seen very many children survive this. I whispered to a fireman, "We've got to hurry. We're going to lose him if we don't."
When Tammy Nethercott and her husband Don moved their family to the small town of Merlin, Oregon, they thought their children would be safe. But on the afternoon of October 3rd, 1991, just a few weeks after settling into their new home, one of their worst fears came to pass. While Tammy worked inside the house, she asked her daughters Danielle and Desiree to keep an eye on their 2-year-old brother, Christopher.
Have some apple pie. Have some apple pie. Have it too.
He's an explorer, and I guess that's like normal for 2-year-olds to check everything out. We put up a barricade along the side of the pool. It was just like makeshift for the time being.
Where's Chris? I didn't see him go anywhere, but my mom said look for Christopher Daniel. I went to go look for him. I thought he was on the swing set, but he wasn't.
911 emergency. My baby brother drowned and he told me I'm 2 years old. What happened? Our baby brother drowned.
I ran in to call 911 because it was an emergency. And if I didn't call 911, he'd die.
I had my baby boy in my arms, and there's no muscle tone, no life, no nothing, nothing.
I need you to relax, okay? Tell me what's happening so I can help you. He was in the pool. He's down. I think he drowned. Okay, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Is he breathing? No. Okay, I want you to stand.
911 dispatcher Katie Duncan joined dispatcher Lisa Saul on the line.
We're trained to work in pairs. So from there, I was going to take over the emergency medical portion of the call so that she could dispatch the ambulance and the fire department.
Medic 4.
The nearest rescue units, including EMT Jess Webb, headed to the scene. But they were 7 miles away.
About a month before, I had a 10-year-old drown on me on Rogue River. I was afraid that this was going to turn out the same way, and it hits pretty hard with kids. It hurts.
What color is he? His lips are kind of blue. Okay, that's all right. Is his head tipped back a little bit? Yes. Okay, now listen to me. Put your mouth over his mouth and nose. And blow 2 little breaths to fill up his lungs. Okay? No, wait, no. Settle down yourself. Listen to me. Is he breathing yet? Okay.
She was on a roller coaster, and it would have been very easy to lose her. If she looks down again and realized the baby's not breathing, then I would have lost the only rescuer that we had at the scene.
That's okay.
As soon as we realized there wasn't a pulse, I had to control her and get her back into the sequence.
Tip the head back and 2 more breaths. Watch for the chest to rise. 2 more. Is the baby breathing yet? No. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I want you to do next, okay? Listen to me. Put the heel of your hand in the middle of the child's chest, between the nipples, and push down 1 inch like you're pumping up the chest. Okay, I want you to do that 5 times, once per second. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now 2 breaths, and make sure the chest is rising. 2 more breaths, come on. 1. Oh, come on, Chris.
But in a rural setting, especially where this address was, you're talking probably 10, 15, sometimes 20 minutes or longer until the very first unit arrives.
13 minutes after Christopher was pulled from the pool, the nearest advanced life support ambulance was still more than 3 miles away.
That's okay, you're doing fine. 5. Okay, 2 more breaths. Come on, give him the breath. 1.
I'm not an EMT. I'm not a doctor, nurse. I'm just a typical mother.
Turn him on his side, tip his head back just a little bit. Is there any more water coming? Listen to me. Tip his head back.
He didn't have any color on him, except for his lips were purplish blue. I was feeling scared because I was thinking that he'd die.
Listen to me. Is the baby crying yet? No. Okay,
The thought that we'd been doing this a long time and the child was not coming back had occurred to me, but that doesn't preclude you from doing your very best.
Mike Worley had heard about the drowning from a neighbor.
It scared me to death first time I looked at him. There wasn't no life in him. I couldn't see him do anything. And he's just a little bitty guy. And
keep going. Give him the breath now. Hello? Yeah, I want her to keep doing CPR. She's trying. That's fine. Make sure she does. Listen, 2 breaths.
I didn't know where he came from, but that person became a coach on the phone.
Ready? 1. Count with her. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She just spit up a bunch of water. That's okay. Roll the baby on the side. Roll baby on his side. Roll him on his side. Okay. Give him another breath. Yeah. Come on. Roll him back and give him 2 more breaths. Keep going. The fire department's there. Keep going. Keep going, though, until they can take over. 4, 5.
We pulled up to the house, and we knew that it was going to be bad. We were so far out, and he'd been down so long, with a guaranteed minimum of 13 minutes, that it looked bad. It looked like it wasn't going to happen.
1, 2, 3, 4. Is the fireman helping now? Okay. Pump it on his chest. Okay. Keep going. I'm going to keep you on the line here until the ambulance crew gets there. Keep counting for him. You're doing a good job. Breathing on his own, the fireman said. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye.
I felt like, well, we've done our best. It's just kind of like a little relay race. We did our little part in the relay race, and now it was someone else's turn to do their best.
Minutes later, the advanced life support unit arrived, and paramedic Jim Bard took over the boy's care.
Hi, Jim. Immediately, I went to the child, and he did have a pulse, but he was only breathing about 4 or 5 times a minute.
Okay. He's disturbed, but he's not looking good at all.
I have not seen very many children survive this. I whispered to a fireman, "We've got to hurry. We're going to lose him if we don't."
Nice and easy.
While Christopher was prepared for transport to the hospital, Tammy called her husband Don at work and told him what had happened.
I wanted to just floor it and just get home. About 2 miles from the house, I finally met the ambulance. It was like being in a tunnel. I didn't know whether my little boy was alive or not.
I actually felt grieving for this kid. It was like he's dying and I'm dying with him. I really didn't expect him to make it. I was letting go towards the end.
Christopher was admitted to Josephine Memorial Hospital and examined by Dr. Jim Geeson.
She was extremely critical.
He's breathing about 5 times. We're still assisting.
Initial assessment was very dismal regarding the chance for the child recovering neurologically.
I went off duty a half hour later. It was really a bad night. I cried all the way home.
The little boy was taken to Dornbecker Children's Hospital, more than 200 miles away. His parents drove through the night for 5 hours straight, not knowing what condition their son would be in when they finally got to see him at the hospital.
He was still hooked up to all the monitors and everything.
But he looked like he had a little more color, and he looked at Tammy and he said, "Mama."
That was a great feeling. I can't explain it. It's probably like rebirth or something.
After 2 days in the hospital, 2-year-old Christopher Nethercott was released without any sign of permanent injuries.
We don't send Christopher out with the girls and say, okay, you watch him. That doesn't happen anymore. They're not old enough. They're playing too, so we watch. But if you have a pool, gotta make sure it's secured. Not just 95%, yeah, it's gonna be okay. Make sure that pool's 100%.
It was just unbelievable. You know, he goes from being in critical shape to being home running around, and he's just perfect.
1 month after the accident, the Nethercott family finally got a chance to thank the dispatchers who worked so hard to save Christopher's life.
Oh, you look beautiful.
There he is.
Hi, Christopher. Knowing the child's here as a result of this system is extremely gratifying. It makes everything that we do worthwhile.
Let's give Katie a hug. Want to give Katie a hug? Let's give Katie a hug. Give her a hug.
Ooh, I got you. Got you.
Step out of the car, please.